Hello, good evening all. So today's topic is memory management. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss today. So the first one is introduction to memory management, where we are going to discuss about the RAM, what is the RAM, what is the memory and all. The second one, main concept regarding memory performance. So we will see what is the virtual memory, what is the pages, how we are calculating the performance and all. And the third one is memory architecture. So we will see if there is any kinds of pressure on the memory, what is the OM situation, out of memory situations, and how it's occur, how it's going to handle in the production environment, in the and tools to debug performance issues. So we will use some tools to debug that, and some of the tuning parameter we will see how to use that tuning parameter even in the production systems. And after that we will see some result analysis, what is the output of that. Okay, so first of all, why OS or your kernel need memory? So the simple answer is that to run the application, your OS or kernel need memory. So let's suppose if you are running any application, so relevant to that application, one process or one or more than one process will be run. Okay, so to run that process or application we need memory. Without that process or without the memory, your application you can't run. Okay, so that is the reason. And if I talk about like what exactly stored inside the memory, okay, so the answer is that inside your memory there is the content of application, some kernel instructions, working data files and other file system, all are stored in the memory, that is in the RAM. So let's talk about the let's talk about the memory pressure. So how we are going to calculate the memory pressure? Okay, so on the Linux system there is a command to calculate the memory pressure. Okay, so vm state is a command. So simply we are running this command. There is value 3 times it will run in every 1 second interval. Okay, so there is a swap in and swap out concept. So if your swap in and swap out is continuously increasing or decreasing, then you can consider that your system is having some memory kinds of pressure. Okay, so if let's suppose if we have some memory pressure, then how we are going to debug, how we are going to handle that memory pressure. Okay, so to debug, there is this is the command. Basically this command is you can, just a minute, let me show you which RPM is used to use for okay, so there is a procups RPM, with from that RPM you got that particular vmstat command. Okay, so here more RPM. Okay, sorry. Okay, so from that RPM you got lots of commands like free, pre-grep, pkill. So it must be installed on your system if you use the even if you are using minimal OS, or if you are using any I mean free command, everywhere you are getting. Okay, so the second first thing we have discussed about the VM state. Okay, and the second thing is the RAM. So kernel start to move pages into RAM when your RAM is slow. Okay, so when there is a out of memory situation occur. Okay, so let's suppose your some of the application is running and your memory is going to full, then there is a process running kswapd, which I will discuss later, that is running, and that move your pages, which is a unit of RAM, into swap. Okay, so there is a command, from that command we can see whether if your system is having any out of memory situation. So there is a command dstate. Okay, so it seems this command not installed in my system, so let me install. Okay, so that's how d now hyphen top hyphen out of memory. So here you can see that this is the major process when my my RAM will be full, and if I'm again running any of application and that require more memory, then this is the first process which is going to kill from kernel. Okay, so this is the basic about the memory management. Now the second thing, so what is the pages? Okay, so pages is page is the unit of memory. Okay, so this is the command that we can get the size of page. Okay, page. Okay, so this is the default size of page in your OS. This is the default. We can further increase or decrease that size. Okay, so my next concept is virtual memory. So what is the virtual memory? So it's a simply abstraction of main memory that is infinite. Okay, so let me describe, let me demonstrate. Okay, so before that we have huge pages concept. So what is the huge pages? So basically that concept is using in MySQL, or where we are using MySQL or Oracle, that there we are using. So this feature is basically integrated with the Linux kernel version 2.6, and this feature is basically enabled. This feature is basically used to enable the page size more than 2 MB to 256 MB. Okay, so for example, let's suppose if we need page size more than 2 MB, okay, then we will set huge page. Okay, and it's totally depends on your OS and your hardware. Okay, so the next concept is virtual memory. So what is virtual memory? Okay, so virtual memory, let me explain. Okay, this is the process ID. So here you can get. Okay, so when any process run on Linux system, just make it thumb rule. When any process run on Linux system, then it get a virtual memory, and that particular virtual memory is associated with a physical memory with the help of kernel. Okay, kernel decide what permission should be there. So from pmap and then process ID. Okay, this is the first process ID which is running by systemd, and init in the RHEL 6 and systemd in RHEL 7. So here the process ID 1, when any process run, some virtual address created, and that is associated with a physical address with and kernel decide that what should be the permission. Okay, so that's how that is the that is the virtual memory. Now the question is then why we require the virtual memory, and what is the advantage? So the advantage of virtual memory is because of security reason, because any process when any process start, it doesn't have any access to your physical memory. Okay, and its access when any process start, its access your virtual memory, and we have a mapping technology. Okay, that is connect virtual memory to the physical memory, that is called memory management unit. Okay, so that let me explain here. Okay, so here lots of processes running. For example, so I'm taking example of one of the process 294, or let me take the example of this process. Okay, so when okay, so in this process particular, for that process, this is the virtual memory assigned, and that virtual memory is associate with this physical memory. So it could be that one physical memory is assigned to the multiple virtual memory. Here you can see this is a physical memory, these are the same, but it's assigned to the different virtual memory. So that is the virtual memory. When any process start, then it's get a virtual memory, and virtual memory is assigned to the physical memory with the help of kernel with some of the permissions. Okay, so that is virtual memory. Okay, and okay, let me more explain. So here is the virtual memory. In the top command you can find the virtual memory and residential memory, that is the your actual memory. So here if you see let me show you. Okay, I have 2 GB of physical memory in my system, but if you notice, residential memory will be always equal or greater than your physical memory. So if this is a physical memory, then how it's possible that residential memory is greater than your physical memory? So this is a concept called shared memory. Okay, so that I want to show you here. More than one virtual process or virtual memory is assigned to your physical memory. That is the reason actually your in the top command your residential memory is showing more than actual memory. Okay, so in that case actually more than one process is running. Let me show you. Okay, so here you can see shared clean, shared dirty, and all your about your memory. Okay, what is the size, and okay, I will explain all things in upcoming. Okay, so let me explain the architecture. Okay, architecture of memory. So there is a 4 kinds of architecture: free, inactive clean, inactive dirty, and active. So this is the basically memory pages states. Okay, so there is free will be free in the sense your RAM is completely free, and it's there is no data in the RAM. If I talk about inactive clean. Inactive clean means, let's suppose I created a file here with the abc.txt. Okay, and I didn't make any changes in this file, and simply I quit that file. That is the condition inactive clean. Okay, and the second one is inactive dirty. What is inactive dirty? When I open this file and I write something in this file, so now the states this state is called inactive dirty. Means now your page came from disk, write something, and now it's in your RAM. And the next situation is active. Active means your one of the page is currently used, like if you are playing any game on the on your system, or if you are running any application that it's continuously running, that means it's a active. Okay, so next we will see like some of the example. Let me show you. So here we can see okay, so you can see the inactive pages in your system is this KB, and dirty pages is 0 KB. Here is the concept of anon, which I let me explain you. The anon pages is something like it's a those pages which is those pages which are which is inactive and which is need to move into swap space. That is the anon pages. So here you can see, so somewhere like you can see this is the virtual memory that is actually currently not in use. So we need system need to throw that particular process which is assigned to that virtual memory need to move to swap. That is the anon. Okay, and okay, so if in the case if inactive dirty will be the size of inactive dirty will be high, then RAM will throw back to the disk with the use of PD flash thread. There is a concept PD flash thread. So from PD flash thread it's throw back all the all the pages from RAM to disk. That is the, and we have one command. Let's suppose we have buffer cache 337 cache, and this is the so we have caches, so we want to flush that cache. So this is generally not recommended on the production environment. Echo 334 actually page caches, directories and inode. It will throw all things process. Okay, and now if you will see the output, the caches will be low with in compare of previous output. Okay, so let me explain you one more thing related to memory management. Okay, let me install. Okay, now that RPM installed. Sorry, it took some time because my internet was slow. So why I installed this RPM, I will show you. Actually there is some parameters which we are going to see. Okay, so the first is VM dirty background by bytes, and background dirty ratio. This is the dirty ratio, and dirty expire synthesis, and write back synthesis. Okay, so here after installing that kernel doc, you will get document where you can go and read all these things. Okay, documentation. Here is the huge documentation. You don't need any kind of book. Here is you can find out all related to document or related to kernel. Okay, so here let me okay, so this is the file. This is a documentation file where you can read what is the dirty ratio. Okay, about the dirty byte, background dirty, and dirty expire syntax, and dirty ratio, dirty write back syntax, and drop caches, everything. Like I earlier I explained about echo 1, that is for page cache, and echo 2, that is for trees, and echo 3 including inodes, trees, and page caches all. So this is a very good documentation file. You can go through this documentation and read all things. Okay, so let me explain one more thing, that is, okay, let me show you. Okay, so there is a kswebd one daemon is running kswebd when your RAM is going to full. Then this daemon right now this daemon is in sleep state, because right now there is enough RAM is available. So swap used is 0, means if you will run any application there is enough RAM. But let's suppose your RAM is lesser and you are running any application, then kswebd daemon will run, and then it will move inactive pages into swap. That is the usage of kswebd. Okay, and let me show you one more thing. Okay, so VM min free, that is the size. After that that is that threshold value. After that, or if VM your OS will reach that threshold value, after that your kswebd daemon will be in running state, and then it will move all the pages in all the inactive pages to the swap. Okay, so that's how actually let me show you one more thing. Okay, so that's how now you will see. at the bottom you can see here your free memory is this one, and okay, and this is your minimum, and okay, and this is low, high. All the information you can find in the logs file. Here you can see the complete logs. So kernel triggered that log into verilog messages. Okay, so here you can see the out of memory situation. Okay, so Python 2 is the a process which will be killed when your system will be out of memory. This will be the first process which will be going to kill. More you can see here. Okay, so here is the values 0. The higher if the higher value whatever will be the higher value for any process, that process will be killed. Okay, so now the question is how out of memory calculate. So basically out of memory is going to calculate on behalf of these points: VM run, nice value, which comes in top. It's running from here you can see nice value, minus 22 plus 19 is the minus value. The minus, I mean 0 is the minus process, lesser process, lesser value is the good one process. 19 plus 19 will be the bad process, and minus 20 will be good process. So lesser value, good process. Okay, so this is about and you can also tune the process value, like ohm value, if you want to adjust. Sorry. Here is the file adj. Okay, so in this file you can mention the value from minus 17 to plus 15. So plus 15 will be the value where your process will be killed firstly. Okay, and minus 17 will be good value. Okay, so this is about how I mean how your out of memory is going to calculate. Okay, more you can see here. So here you can see panic ohm value. So when your VM is in panic condition, then from out of memory, then it will create some log file. Okay, so right now the value is disabled. You can enable it core panic if you want to generate a core panic, but this is not recommended on the production system. So let me enable. Okay, so now it will generate a panic. If there is any out of memory panic in the VM, then it will generate a core log file. So that is about the some points about the memory management. Thank you for watching this video.